So grace and peace. So I said to myself, I said, I didn't really have an introduction video. A video where it describes like why I'm doing all of this. And so it's just about, just living this life literally the Lord's way. And it's tougher than I could have ever imagined, but it's also easy. Sometimes I don't understand. So I woke up this morning and I wanted to just talk to the Lord, and I believe one day I'll just talk to the Lord on record and show how I just talk to God, and it's literally just the way I'm speaking right now, because I feel like that's how He hears me. He don't want me to try to be any other way. He don't want me to try to do something that somebody else did. And so it's just like, I guess I wanted to introduce or have an introduction video, because really I don't know how to do this. I really don't. After I quit my job, I really think that it is like, who wakes up and say the day after, I'll make a video for YouTube? Like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, why aren't you trying to get another job? Why aren't you trying to, provide for yourself? And I just still can't wrap my head around it, like how I woke up the next day and this is what I started doing. Like, the very first thing that I started doing, it was like, without even thinking about it, this is what I started doing. But like I said, I've always wanted to have a video, and I guess I started it. I've started some other things too. Like, I have a blog where I write a lot about a lot of issues that I have or had. And then I just write. And I've always, like, back in the day, I can remember as a child just writing. And I don't know where that went to. I don't know where that went, or how I lost that, or I don't know. I just can't remember how I dropped it. But then somehow, Lady Portia would tell me, which is my pastor's wife, she would tell me all the time, Tony, just journal, just write it down. And I would think that was the most craziest thing ever. Like, how could I write something down and that make me feel better? But it works. It works. When you just sit down and you just unload and you take the time to get all of your thoughts off of your mind, out of your head, and out of your heart, for me, it just feels like, okay, good. And then it's like, I can move on, because all of that stuff can't be in here. And I didn't know that writing would do that for me, but it really does. It really does. And then, like, I just went and I checked my Facebook page. No, not my Facebook page, my YouTube page. And I put up like, I think about 5 or 6 videos. And it's like, none of them have been looked at all. And in my mind, I'm one of them people that if it don't work right away, I'm just like on to the next. Like, no, I made a mistake or I messed up, and so I'm all about, okay, let's fix it, let's fix it, let's fix it, let's fix it, let's fix this thing. But I didn't make a mistake. I didn't. It's not that I haven't stands that some old desires have come back and I've begun to do them. It's not a mistake. So this is the reason why I'm making this one. So like I said, I was talking to the Lord today because just feeling a little anxious, but his word says be anxious for nothing. Just feeling a little anxious because my mind was trying to tell me like, oh, you weren't supposed to do this. You weren't supposed to do this. And, talking myself off the ledge. So next time, I promise you, I'm going to push play and I'm going to let you see me work this thing out and talk to God and how he gave me just verses, to combat the anxiousness, to make me feel better. Because that's how God is. That's how he works. He literally is our husband. He literally is my husband. And a husband is created to literally wash you with the word, to cleanse you. Like when you're feeling as a girl, when I'm feeling as a girl, as a woman, like, oh my gosh, I made a mistake and, blah, blah, blah. And him being the best husband on the planet, he wants to reassure me and bring me back to a place where you didn't make a mistake. But the only way that he could do that and bringing me back to a place of that I didn't make a mistake is to give me the word, is to wash me with the word, is to provide me with the word. And being that he is the word. Yeah. So when I was thinking these thoughts of, oh, I made a mistake, or God, how you gonna do this? Because that was my issue in one of my other videos. I literally was crying like, God, how you gonna provide? And I know I have a little bit of savings, and it's just like, how are we gonna pay these? How these bills are gonna get paid? But the thing of it is, that's not mine to think about. And then I didn't spend a lot of time with God. I feel like for me, and I don't know, but a lot of people, people do what is needed, what God requires of them. But I do what is required of me. And God is showing me it don't take a long time, Tony, for you to talk to me and get all your feelings out and me to give you an answer. It don't take you a long time. All you need to do is completely trust me with those thoughts that you feel like you shouldn't have to, you shouldn't say to me. Trust me with those thoughts, those things that God, I don't know how you're going to do it. Or God, I had a thought of like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry about the spacing, because I space out sometimes because I be trying to get my thoughts together. I literally was zoned out, and I'm sorry. So I'm back. Okay. So I was like, God, like, I know you're going to do it. But before I said that, I was like, I'm trying to remember what I said. Because to some other people, it could sound rude. But it came in my heart. So he already know that I said it. He already know that I thought it. So it's like, I can't hide. I got to tell you. And so I said something like, I'm waiting on you to do it, something like that, like, or I can't remember. It's not coming back to me. I'm sorry. But when it comes back, I promise I'm going to say it. because this channel is about being as transparent as I possibly can, being as vulnerable as I possibly, just being vulnerable. I ain't gonna say as possibly as I can. I'm gonna be vulnerable. I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to tell you the gory things that I go through as being a child of God. The things that some people be like, what? You actually said that to God? And He's still with you? Because here's the thing. This is what I'm learning. Here's the thing. He is not my dad. Even though He is my dad. Like, He's not my physical dad. But He is my dad. And He do not act like my father. He don't act like Flag. He don't. He is so much different. And that is what this channel is all about. It is about how my life, up until the moment that I met Jesus, we crossed paths, and how He has, and all the things He's brought me through. And not just telling you the things up until the moment that I met Him, but the things that He has done to get me to that point where I met Him. Like, He saved my life so many times that if something else would have happened, I would not have ever met Him. And I'm going to tell you those things. I'm going to say all of those things. And I'm not, because He has given me understanding of those things. The things that He has not given me understanding of, the things that I still have shame of, the things that I still fear, I can't talk about because He has not freed me from those things. But I'm going to give you, but I am going to talk about them. I may not go in detail. I may not go in detail because I don't understand all of it. I have not worked through all the emotions and things like that. But the things that I have worked through, that God has helped me work through, and understand and cope with, and hey, I can talk about that. I promise you, I'm gonna talk about them. And I'm gonna talk about how I got to the point of even being able to talk about them. Right? Because there's days that I cry for no reason. I don't know why I'm crying, but God knows why I'm crying. And He speaks to me. And He just slowly tells me. He gives me words for the emotions that I have. And being in a marriage with the Lord, I gotta be able to communicate. I gotta be able to tell Him, even though, and here's the thing, and I know some people probably be like, Tony, God knows your thoughts, and you don't have to explain it. But no, this is a relationship. And in a relationship, in any form, whether it's woman and man, or you are, the relationship with you and your mother, or you and your sister, this relationship requires talking. It requires effective communication in order for me to know what you're talking about, and in order for me to express how I'm feeling, so you know where I'm coming from. And that's what God is doing with me. He's giving me words for each and every emotion that I have, and each and every and just how to effectively communicate with Him. Yes, He knows my thoughts from afar off. Yes, that's the word. Yeah. But yeah, He can read my mind. But if we're in a relationship, He wants us to talk. He wants to talk, and He wants space to talk, and then He gives me space to talk. Because this is a relationship. Sometimes it doesn't require me to say anything. I've had times like that where He like, be quiet. And what do? Do you keep talking when God says be quiet? I have. I've continued to talk. But then God is just like, be quiet. And then I have to get quiet. I literally have to tell every thought that's going on in his heart and in his mind, shut up. God is trying to tell me something. So I'm not saying that it happens right away. Like, as soon as I tell my mind to shut up, no. It takes time to quiet everything. And sometimes it takes about 5 to 10 minutes where I have to just literally sit and let all these thoughts just, hey, shut up. Quiet all the way down. And once I get to the point where there's no thoughts in my mind, I'm not trying to tell God nothing, I'm not trying to think about nothing, then he starts to speak. And I'm not saying that God can't speak when all of that is going on. Like, he literally could talk above that. He could talk above that. But when he say be quiet, why does he have to speak above it, the loudness in my head, in my heart, in my head? Why do he have to? And I believe that is temperance, where you can tell your flesh to shut up, where you can tell your mind to shut up, and it obeys. But that's not by happenstance. That don't just happen. That takes you communing with God, Tony. I'm just saying that doesn't happen right away. It happens when I am seeking God and in his face, reading his word, and just giving him all of this. Because the word says, present your body as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. That is the minimum that you are to do, is present your body a living sacrifice. So I need to be slaying Tony every single day. Be quiet. Shut up. This ain't your time to talk. Because the flesh want to do what it want to do. Honey, the flesh want to do what it want to do. But sometimes it got to be quiet. It got to shut up. It's got to be quiet. And so in those moments, he just be wanting to talk. And he gives me space to talk where he don't say nothing. Who am I to be talking while he talking? That's rude. That is super rude. So that's what this is all about. That is the only reason, and I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm going to continue to press on. I'm going to continue to press forward. I'm going to continue to do this until God says stop. Until he gives me something else to do. And that's just it. I feel like this will be one thing that I just won't quit. And that's one thing that you've learned about me. That when it doesn't work out right away for me, I quit. But I don't want to be a quitter anymore. So I'm going to do this until God says stop. Because then that means that it's over. If I quit abruptly, then that means it wasn't over. I did it because I didn't see results right away. And whatever happens, what happens, like in life, if you quit it before you ever see a result, would you ever know that it would work? That it could have worked? You wouldn't know, right? You wouldn't know because you quit too soon. You quit too early. And I'm done quitting too early. So, well, that's me. And I hope that that reached somebody, or somebody was like, hey, that's me too. So we're in the same boat. I love you to life. And again, I didn't want anything. Have a good day.